Good morning, mi gente. It's 9 a.m. I know, gay people and an LGBTQ plus Kiki at 9 in the freaking morning? Well, that's why I'm still in bed. Me? You know who I am. I'm FayWhat. And I'm going to help you get your week started off right. We have lots of fun things to talk about. It's going to be a great week.
Rainbows, gay boys, hashtag that girl, sunbeams, drag queens, L-word, is that girl, the girl of all our dreams. She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl, pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton, is that girl, Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
The FayWhat Show is America's first LGBTQ plus morning show, and we're live right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm also on demand, baby, anytime you want. It's Monday, August. Look at me, I'm already putting you in the summer. It is April 29th, 2024. Welcome to the end of April. So let's kiki about what's going on in the LGBTQ plus community. I have a sidekick joining me in bed for some conversation. What else did you think I was talking about? This is Jamal. Have you seen his body? Like, it's so damn hard and beautiful and perfect that you just want to look at it and like just admire it and like stencil it and like take a picture of it and then lick it. Anyway, this segment is called Gay Boys Sleep Late, and this morning I'm joined by my gay guy pal, Jamal L. Starks. He's a model, spiritualist, wellness counselor, part of Queer Yoga Club Miami, and HIV activist with Impulse Group, and also sits on the Men of Color Advisory Board for Viv Healthcare. And let's not forget that, like only he can, baby, he walks sex siren in the house of gorgeous Gucci. You can find him on Instagram at @porcelain, that's porcelain with a 3. Good morning, Jamal, and welcome back to my bed, boo.
Yay.
How you doing, Papi Chulo?
I'm good.
How you doing? How you feeling? How you shaking? You look gorgeous.
I just got off of a red-eye flight from Vegas.
Ooh, I love
my
that.
cousin's birthday.
Oh, I love that. How was his birthday? Did you guys go all out?
Yeah, we surprised him because they live in Phoenix now, and so his wife called and she was like, "I'm surprising him. I want you to come out." So I flew out
I love
for a day.
that. And then you just popped up like at a casino or at a show and like gave him a freaking heart attack. Like, you know, like when you know the person, but like your mind is like, I'm in Vegas. Why is Jamal here? Right? So it's trying to put like two and two together, and it's like, is this Molly working? What is going on? Right? Like, what happened? That's beautiful,
Edible.
though. Oh, edible. You know what I mean?
He probably was on a nice edible.
A nice chilling one.
Nice
He's like,
chill.
oh, Jamal was just in my thoughts and now he's here. How beautiful is this? I love that. And then you just came back like that. Ooh. So did you do anything like, you know how they say, like, you know, everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Is that still a thing?
It's an adult playground, so I didn't do anything too naughty.
No, you did like normal stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Did you go see a show? You didn't have time.
No.
We just partied.
I just
and looked amazing.
Yeah. Enjoyed Vegas. It wasn't about me.
It was about your cousin.
It was about my cousin. Yeah.
But the thing is that, like, okay, here's the thing, Jay. I'm going to tell you something that I doubt you've never heard before. You don't blend, bitch. Okay? You can't just like enter a room and be like, you know, just blend. Just like, don't let anybody like notice you, right? You don't blend, okay? You're gorgeous. You're statuesque. You kind of float into a room. You know what I mean? So like for the weekend, you gave him like these amazing like backup dancers. You know, like these amazing models everywhere like your cousin walked to. That was his gift.
And my cousin's huge.
Is he really?
He's like 6'4", 250 solid muscle. Like,
Nice. Yeah. You had boys and girls just slobbering wherever you guys went. Happy birthday, cuzzo. All right, well, let's start talking about some kikis, all right? You ready?
Yeah,
all right, Jay, let's do this. So first, biggest went wild recently when a video of gender fluid rapper Jaden Smith, son of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, and pop star Justin Bieber got close at Coachella. The video shows Jaden hugging Justin from behind before Justin kisses him on the cheek. The two have been friends since they were kids and collaborated on Justin's 2011 hit song, Never Say Never. I'm living for Jaden Smith Smith humping Bieber at Coachella. What are we all talking about? Did you see the video?
I did.
I mean,
I thought it was harmless.
Me too.
I just thought it was two friends that just, like my friends do it to me all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not anything gay. It's not anything gay. It's just affection.
It's just love.
Yeah,
it's just
love.
compassion.
It's compassion.
It's just kind of, it can't be easy to be Justin Bieber. It can't be easy to be Will Smith's, gender fluid son.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It can't be easy.
So, of course, everybody's going to pick it out and be like, oh, look at them being so gay. And it's like, no, they're just being
friends. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just being friends.
Yeah, don't straight people do that too?
No, that's their problem. It's a fucking problem.
Because like, I'm here thinking like, okay, because when I'm out with my girlfriends, right, I have like maybe one or two straight friends. Like every once in a while, I just like, you're special to me, right? And I give them a kiss on the cheek or on the lips or whatever and just go, you mean a lot to me, you know? Like, and that's how we are.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and also, the whole toxic masculinity thing, most people think men aren't supposed to be affectionate. And so, which is why, like 2 years ago, I worked on hugging my friends.
I love that.
I mean, you started. You kind of like, because every time you see me, it's like, give me some love.
And like I noticed, like the first couple of times, where you would just see Jamal's arms just flailing, right? I'll just be hugging him. Thank you so much, Jay. And his freaking arms just going like this. And then slowly he started hugging me. And then he hugged
now
me.
I hug people.
Now you hug it.
Now I do energy exchange.
But I get it because it is that energy. You're just not going to share it with everyone.
And also the COVID thing.
Well, yeah, that also gave people PTSD.
Yeah,
of course.
That was like in the back of my head.
Of
but
course.
also, the energy exchange, like a hug feels good.
Times are tough, Jay.
Yeah.
Life is not freaking easy, man.
No.
The older I get, the more I'm just like, oh my God, everybody, like be careful how you act with your friends, okay? Because everybody's is going through something.
Yeah, no, dead ass. Like I've done a ton of readings recently, and everybody's really dealing with their own burdens, their own shit, and most people are just looking for a little affection, a little compassion, a little listening ear. So mostly, like when I do my readings, one person asked me, they were like, "How do you do this?" And I'm like, "I'm just holding space for you, to feel whatever you need to feel in this moment, because most of the times we don't have."
Someone to do that for you.
No, just to listen. Yeah. And I know the cards are bringing up these things to the surface, but also, I'm holding space for you to feel whatever you need to feel right now. And just
in a safe space.
In a safe space, with no judgment from me. Like, I know some bad shit is happening in the world.
Completely. And for whatever reason, we're sometimes even like we're afraid to come clean with our own friends.
Yeah.
When again, they're going through shit too.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they might need a hug too.
Yeah.
Just saying. Next, recently, Virgin Radio presenter Shivani Dave appeared on the British network TalkTV to discuss the cast report, an independent review of healthcare for transgender youth in the UK. When introducing Shivani, host Julia Hartley-Brewer misgendered them, calling them she. Shivani responded saying they use they, them pronouns. Hartley-Brewer went on to say, quote, "Thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar," end quote. Hartley-Brewer also went on to call Shivani a single woman. Following the backlash, she has since reposted a post on X comparing the LGBTQ plus community to the Taliban, saying, quote, "At least the Taliban know what a woman is," end quote. Watch this.
Good afternoon, Julia. You know my pronouns are they, them. How are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar. So the only thing I would need to refer you to is to your face would be you. But I'm not being rude. You can choose your pronouns. You can choose what you want to call yourself, but you don't get to require me to use incorrect grammar and factually incorrect things. You're not a plural. You're a one person. And you're a female person, so I will use she and her. Thank you very much.
Do what you like, I guess.
Well, there you are. You didn't need to tell me then, did you?
Maybe I'm just making sure people know in case they're watching and they want to refer to me respectfully.
Is it disrespectful for me to use correct factual grammar?
It's not incorrect or unfactual grammar to use singular they, them pronouns for an individual. But we're here to talk about the cast review.
Yeah, but you chose to bring it up.
You chose to use the incorrect pronouns for me.
I chose to use the correct pronouns for a single woman who is appearing on my show.
I'm not a single woman, though. I'm a very special non-binary trans person, as you just pointed out. I
didn't
really
just point
stand
that
out. In the crowd.
I didn't just point that out. I introduced you as a journalist and a Virgin Radio presenter.
No, just before I came on, you were talking about how people with all these labels like to be special. And I'm just making sure that everyone knows I'm special.
Okay, I'm not special. I'm just a boring old heterosexual married woman. But, you know, sorry about that. We're not allowed to do that anymore. In fact, that probably does make me special now. I don't know.
British anchor refuses proper pronouns. What are we all talking about?
We're talking about disrespect. We're talking about disrespect.
Yeah.
Like, what is it off of you to respect someone who is blatantly saying, hey, I use they, them pronouns. Okay, so I'll call you they from now on.
That's it. Or for the next 5 minutes, Jay. Okay? They're not a part of their lives forever.
It's it's just lost on me of how sometimes I misgender folks because I just am ignorant. I'm out of the know. I'm still a cis man. You know, I don't know what your pronouns are until you correct me on them. And when I am corrected, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Done. I filed it right there and it's
that's
done.
it.
Yeah,
That's
you won't
it.
have to tell me again.
No.
You know? Yeah.
No. And I find this just so weird. Like, girl, you are right. You are not special. You are a boring old heterosexual woman who just does not get it. And maybe you shouldn't be on the telly.
On the telly. The telly.
Disrespecting folks like that. Like, it's just a matter of respect. It's not even hard.
No.
It's not even something difficult.
It's not. And you're an anchor. You have a job to do. Okay? Your job is to interview this person, this human being. Okay? And when I interview someone, I'm told the person's name, right? And I always say, what are your pronouns? What would you like for me to call you as? That's just being respectful. That's just meeting somebody and saying, thank you, you're welcome, mister, whatever it is, opening the door for someone. It's being a proper human, Jay. It's not really going above and beyond anything.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember when they then became more mainstream, right? When we were all like, okay, we got to learn this shit, right?
Right.
And then even journalists came out and said, okay, grammatically it feels wrong, but this is how we need to start writing because of the evolution of what the world, where the world is at.
Right.
Journalists, okay? Journalists that can't pick a side. They are just reporting the news.
That's it.
They are telling the story.
That's it. That's it.
Okay? And if the person is, my name is Bobby and he, him, that's it. That is what you need to make sure that's in your story.
Bobby, from now on, I will refer to you as Bobby and he, him. That's it.
Plain and simple. And you're done.
And then go through with the interview.
And you're done. And then you'll probably never see them again, Jay. Like, it's not that serious. You know, it's just you being an awful human being. You're not special. You're the opposite of special, okay? And if your parents were alive still, would they be okay with you just being a very disrespectful human? Because that's what you are, ma'am, you know? And kudos to that gentleman for sitting there and taking it, because I think you or me would have been like,
I'd have been like,
click.
This is over. We're not doing this.
Or was it on Zoom? Leave, right?
Because
leave meeting.
I've done it to someone, and there's a debate within the gay community about using girl and she and cis, just randomly calling people she. So I was randomly called she and girl and cis by someone who I don't really know that well, but we are acquainted.
Yeah.
And I said, I would appreciate if you call me he. Like, I don't know you like that. Some of my friends, they say sis. Sometimes they say girl. Sometimes they say she.
I know, but that's your inner
That's
crew.
my inner crew.
Exactly.
They know me.
Exactly.
They know me. And this person got offended, was like, I don't see why you getting in a tizzy because da-da-da-da, and was just going off on me. And I'm like, because I asked you to respect what I want to be called. It's the same. It's on the same banter. It's the same side of the same fence. It's just respect.
It's just respect.
If I wanted to be called a dog, please just call me that. Just respect what people want to be called. Like,
listen, people have had nicknames since the beginning of time, Jay. Okay, people have had nicknames. No, call me Mikey. Call me Mikey. You know, call me Porcelain, right? People are, okay, cool, noted. And then they're done. Then that's it. You know, they've made this such a thing because it's our community.
Yeah.
Okay, and people just fear what they don't understand.
And then she equated us to the Taliban. Like, girl, really?
At least they know who women are. Wow, do your research. They don't treat women that well either, okay? Just to let you know. Next, in a new interview with the Evening Standard, Courtney Love, okay, who last had a hit song, I think back in 1997, I think, decided to share her views on some of today's top pop icons, okay? She said Taylor Swift was not important and not interesting as an artist. She said Madonna was, quote, I don't like her and she doesn't like me, end quote. Talking about Beyonce's new album, she said, quote, I like the idea of Beyonce doing a country record because it's about black women going into spaces where previously only white women have been allowed. Not that I like it much as a concept. I love it. I just don't like her music, end quote. She did get real as she finished the interview saying, quote, I always wanted to be known as a bitch. Being liked was never my thing, end quote. Courtney Love talks crap about Madonna, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift. What are we all talking about? You know, because you're so young, I was about to have to explain to you who she was.
I know who Courtney Love is, and Courtney Love hasn't been relevant since I was 11.
Yeah.
So, but also, it's like this celebrity culture is starting to really get on my nerves. The older I get, the more I
don't have tolerance for it.
I disconnect and disassociate.
Yeah.
Like, especially now, I'm like, there's a genocide going on. We have a horrible election coming up. The economy is crap. Where I was watching this TikTok where this girl was like, luxury is now going to the store and being able to afford food, like regular food, like apples and oranges and bananas and things, like, and some milk. Yeah. Like luxury is now filling up your car. But yet our culture and society is immersed in this celebrity. These people are billionaires and millionaires.
They don't give a shit about you, Courtney.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about any of this stuff. They put out what they are. Taylor Swift, her second album is going multi-platinum or whatever. Beyonce's is going, like, Madonna's on tour. They're all, like...
They ain't thinking about you, Courtney.
And they ain't thinking about us.
All. Like, or us. They're like, please keep talking because that money is still going right into their pockets. I mean, you know, like, there's such a disparity between, like, the rich-ass people and the people down here that can't get apples and some milk, right? Because these people are just making gazillions of money. And Courtney Love is just in the middle trying to stay relevant.
Trying to write a book, girl. What, didn't she write a book?
I don't think, yeah. But again, 1997 was a long time, okay? She needs to get on a reality show, do Villains or something.
Actually, that would work.
That would work.
She wants to be a bitch, then Villains was cute.
It was. But here's the thing. When you are a bitch, you don't have to explain to people that you're a bitch.
You're a bitch. No. People just know you're coming and know that you're a bitch. Like, don't mess with that bitch.
Yeah. So, and those people that you were talking about are all relevant bitches. Like, they know how to be a bitch.
They're They're A-listers.
Yes.
They're on the top of the game.
But you know what? We're talking about you, Courtney. So I guess you did make some moves there. Okay. All right.
Work out.
Next, in a recent interview with Dax Shepard for Armchair Expert, former pro wrestler, actor, and merman Barbie, John Cena, talked about seeing his older brother struggle when they were in school. He mentioned that while the Revenge of the Nerds films were popular at the time in the 80s, the small Massachusetts town that they lived in wasn't very welcoming to his computer nerd gay older brother. He also talked about how he didn't understand what was going on at the time, but how he now feels for what his brother must have been going through as someone who wasn't one of the cool kids and also was hiding the secret of his sexuality. John Cena has a gay brother, and that just makes me love him more, honestly. What are we all talking about? What do you think?
I love John Cena.
Me too. I love me some John Cena.
I love me some John Cena. I love me some Dwayne.
The Rock Johnson. Yeah.
And this new bisexual pro wrestling character.
Ooh, who's he?
Oh, I can't remember. But my brother has been... he's a big wrestling head, and now he lives with me, so wrestling is all back in the house.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
And he's like, look, he's bi.
Yes.
Oh, is he cute?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my God.
David, is that his name? I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, look for the bisexual wrestler. He's probably a lot of fun. David.
Yes.
Do you know who the bisexual wrestler is?
Anthony Bowens, Alex Kane.
Oh, there's a few.
Oh.
There's a few. Okay.
The new one that just won the title or something.
He just won something, but I love that we're represented in wrestling, right? Because you think of that, like that macho kind of bullshit is probably like there is where it's derived from, you know, wrestling, and they have someone part of our community. I think that's amazing.
I think it's lovely.
Now, John Cena, is gorgeous. He's beautiful from top to bottom. He's, an actor. He's an activist. He's a wrestler. It must have not been easy to grow up having him as a brother.
No.
You know what I mean?
And you're a computer nerd and you're gay. Yeah, that's a lot. Especially, we're talking about the 80s and the 90s and the Revenge of those are my favorite. Those are my favorite movies.
Oh my God.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
I love a nerd.
Me too.
I love a smart person.
Oh
my God.
Me too. My wife has got like 10 degrees. I love that shit. But that happens when you get a little older. I think that's when that happens. Yes, I think that happens. I'm not saying you're older. I'm just saying that once you're older, because I remember in my 20s that wasn't sexy as it is now, right? And I find that an intelligent person, is sexy as hell. Like get me a pocket protector. I can work with the rest. I can get you some clothes. I can fix your teeth. I can do something with your glasses.
We can bring you to the gym.
I mean, we can work on that. That's the least of the worries.
That's your intelligence.
This up here is on a whole other level. Yeah. I mean, how many people do we meet that are gorgeous on the outside, and then you try to have a conversation, and it's like, blah, blah.
Too many. Too many.
And after a certain age, you don't have that kind of patience anymore, or the time. You're just kind of like, I don't.
You don't have the capacity.
And you don't have the capacity.
You really don't have the capacity. You're just like, wow, we're here.
We're here.
We're here.
That's it. So unless we get naked, we're not gonna have shit to talk about. So.
And you have to shut up.
Next, the Des Moines Gay Men's Chorus recently planned a series of concerts that featured 15 songs by LGBTQ+ ally Kelly Clarkson. When the American Idol winner found out about the concert, she invited the chorus to perform on her show as part of her What I'm Liking segment. After the chorus performed, she spoke with the artistic director, Eric Shepard, about the concert. He mentioned that her song Unbreakable especially inspired him because of its message of the incredible power of what it means to be who you are. Watch this.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over, 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I.
We have the artistic director, Eric, on the line right now, along with Liz, who's the board president and a member of the chorus. They watch on KCCI 8. What's up, y'all?
Hey, Kelly! Thank you.
Well, that sounded incredible. So your chorus has been around for like 4 decades, right?
That's absolutely right. The DMGMC has been singing music that matters for more than 23 years. In fact, it was all started in the basement of one of our singing founding members around a piano. And now we do several concerts a year with 5 generations of the LGBTQ+ community and our allies. And so it's pretty amazing to see what we're able to do through the power of music.
And as a queer woman, I never really thought that the Gay Men's Chorus would be a place for me. But the DMGMC has been really intentional about how inclusive we are to include all members and identities of the LGBTQ community and allies.
That's incredible. What a beautiful sound y'all make as well. So what's in store for the show tonight?
Well, Kelly, as I was thinking through what we could do that would honor the depth and breadth of our members, I was truly inspired by your authenticity and the years of stories you've told through music. And so for us, tonight is going to be an opportunity for us to tell those stories in a slightly new way. We're all human. We've all gone through joy in life. And so as we perform, some of our singing members are going to integrate what your music means to them. And so, for instance, we're going to be singing Unbreakable and talking to the incredible power of what it means to be who you are. And it's going to focus on how we can understand that all we've been through today is going to help us get to tomorrow and help us inspire the next generation.
Yeah, oh my gosh, Unbreakable, that's a big song. That's going to sound beautiful with all the harmonies. Oh my goodness.
Gay Men's Chorus sings on the Kelly Clarkson Show, and we are loving it. What are we all talking about? Cute are they?
This is really cute. This is fun.
Yeah, and it makes me happy. And like Kelly Clarkson seems to be like such an ally. She constantly has people from our community on her show. You know, she had Ricky Martin on recently, and you need to go check out the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida.
I was just thinking about that.
Were you thinking that?
Literally.
Because Gabe Salazar and all those kids, like, they're not kids. They're just so freaking amazing. And from Disney to Madonna, they sing it all.
Yeah.
You know, with such compassion and such intention.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm pleasantly surprised at the queer woman that was in this choir and making it all inclusive.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that down here, do we? A woman.
Well, we have some choruses that are called Gay Men's Chorus, but it still has trans members, it still has women members, it still has, you know, and that's just part of like the huge intentions of the directors that are like, okay, no, inclusivity matters. We've got to get this. This can't be a whole group of cisgendered white men singing these songs, you know, and they've made it intentional, and they literally sell out the Hard Rock, you know, for a couple of shows a year, which is just amazing. And
that's beautiful.
You know, and I always wonder like what goes through the artistic director's brain, like to pick a song. There's so many songs, right?
You have to be very intentional and very creative and original. And it also dawned on me with, have you noticed that the two top shows are from American Idol contestants, Kelly Clarkson and Jennifer Hudson?
Oh my God, that's true.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, that's an interesting turn of events. Like 20 years later, we're here, and they're both extremely supportive of the community. Yeah. And this is beautiful.
I love that. I love that. I mean, they don't have to spotlight us, you know? I mean, like, you know, again, the chorus it's just a beautiful little light to show, you know, and to show that, like, and again, the inclusivity is awesome. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Kelly Clarkson, you keep doing what you're doing, boo. Love her. She's so cute. The FayWhat Show is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America, and Hotspots Magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ plus experience for 40 years. Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ plus news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. So, Jay, what are you doing this week? Oh my God, that's it. It's the end of April. That's it. May is here.
Thank goodness. Because April was a lot.
Was
April was
a lot.
A lot of things.
April was full, jam-packed. Like isn't April like about springtime and planting the flowers or some shit?
Child, the flowers came out like thorns. We're like, what? It just has been nonstop.
Yeah.
But I am going to DC for the Impulse Conference, our national, mixed in with a few international locations. Yeah, we have a conference on, I think, what we're going to do about this year and this election, which is the next thing that's, I'm not.
It's hard.
It's hard. Ready.
It's hard to start thinking about what the rest of the year entails, right? I get it, right? May is going to be here in a couple of days, and we still, you know, half the year's already gone, you know? But before we turn around, it's going to be Pride Month. Before, you know, and that means the, you know, Stonewall Parade, it means all the galas, it means all that stuff, you know. It was already 90 degrees today, so that means, like, you know, our nice little cool off is over.
It's over, yeah.
Okay?
Summer is here.
That's it. Summer is here.
Summer's here.
And then once you click on summer, the elections will be here.
Yeah. Well, they're going to start energizing everything this summer. Everything's going to energize, you know, we got to do all of the things and all of the, and I'm just,
And you know what? It's bad, right? When your spiritualist is, right? Because I go to him, right? So when I'm like that, right? So you know that like the vibrations are elevated. There's a lot going on with the world, you know? There's global warming. There's this election. There is atomic testing going on and people are still dealing. I mean, there's so much going on, right? And it's so hard to just keep ourselves level. And you've got to stay level because like they say on the plane, right? You got to put your mask on before you help others.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that your shit's on point and you're doing self-care.
Yeah, and that you're breathing too.
And that you're breathing. Why is it? Have you ever been in pain? Like, have you ever broken something or sprained something and you hold your breath because you don't want to breathe?
Yeah, because you don't want to feel the pain.
Okay.
Even though it's not going to stop.
No. And then, like, my wife's, my wife as the nurse is like, breathe. Why aren't you breathing? I'm like, I don't want to breathe. I
don't want to feel it.
I don't want to feel it. We've got to breathe right now, folks.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay, and you are the kind of person that helps us through this breathing. All right.
And you see, I'm trying to help myself. I'm putting my mask on, making sure the oxygen is flowing into my body, my lungs.
I love you, Jay.
Mwah.
I adore you.
I love you too.
I love him. And thank you so much, Jamal, for being in bed with me. I adore you. So then you know that the Happening Out Television Network studios are located at Sunshine Cathedral Square, which also houses Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church located in Fort Lauderdale. We broadcast our Sunday service every week at 10:30 a.m. Here at the FayWhat Show, we bring you interesting interviews with amazing people. Today, we celebrate the queen of travel herself, the head of Visit Lauderdale, and my girl crush. Here's Stacy Ritter. Oh my God, I'm so excited for my next guest. And I've been trying to get this woman in bed literally forever. And I'm not even going to say in bed like on my show in bed. I'm just saying in bed in general, all right? Stacy Ritter is on my show. Let me tell you a little bit about the incredible Stacy Ritter, all right? She is the president and CEO of Visit Lauderdale. As president, she promises to continue Visit Lauderdale's alliance and partnership with the LGBTQ plus community. Stacy has served on numerous boards, including the United States Travel Association, Destination International Foundation, and the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show Steering Committee, just to name a few, because this girl is busy. She's also a dedicated member of the Orange Bowl and Miami Super Bowl committees. Among several honors and recognition that she has received, many, again, okay? Stacy was named one of the 15 influential event profs of 2023. Stacy Ritter, president and CEO of Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau. Yay! Stacy, I'm so glad you're here. Give me kisses. Mwah. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, you're so French. What is your background?
European.
European.
No, I'm not.
Oh, is your family European? No.
Eastern European.
Eastern European, okay.
We were kicked out of those countries, over 100 years ago.
Oh, okay, got you. I got you. No, but I like the double kisses. It's very Latino. I always wonder, where people stole that from.
I don't understand why Americans don't do that. The entire world does that, but, Americans are sort of...
Well, I mean, we have, rigid issues with sex and stuff like that, so I can understand why that is, South Florida Latinos are very into... And Europeans as well, and then you see people move here for the first time and they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Well, Puritans were here, the first white people, and there's a reason why Americans are considered puritanical. That's what it comes from.
That's where it comes from. You see, you're getting a history lesson from Stacy
History
Ritter.
major.
Seriously, are you a history major for real?
Yeah, and now I read it for fun. I really geek out on history podcasts. The stuff that I was forced to read in college, I now go back and read for fun, which... It makes me sort of nerdy.
I love nerds.
Well, no, nerdy.
It doesn't matter.
I am not a nerd.
You don't think you're a nerd?
No.
Okay, and nerd is used in the most positive way.
Okay.
Understand that, folks, because I married a nerd. I love nerds. I love to be around people that are smarter than me.
I'm married to a. Come to think of it, I'm married.
Are you? Is he a nerd? I love him. I just met him the other day at Diversity Honors for the first time. What is his name?
Russ.
Russ. Yeah. You consider him a nerd?
Yes.
Why? What makes him a nerd?
He's a terrible dresser.
Okay.
He has zero sense of style.
Okay.
I think he would wear a pocket protector, but I will forbid it.
How about if it was bedazzled?
I've tried to get him to. We go to a lot of gay events,
Yes.
and I've tried to get him to buy a jacket that's got some spangles and sparkles, but it's just I don't think
he's not there yet, and he's not going to get there.
He actually I think it's funny, but he's very like Stacy. This way you can shine. Nobody's looking at me. Everybody's looking at you.
That's so sweet, but it's a cop-out. But it's very sweet. It's very sweet, though, Rosso. I've got more to talk about you, all right? So, folks, I've been in love with Stacy Ritter since I saw her receiving an award, one of many, 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 many awards that she's gotten, I bet. A Women's History event when I was no one. Right? I was no one. I was literally there as a spectator. And I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. Wow, she's got amazing shoes. Wow. But I never ever, when I was salivating over her, did I expect that you were an ex-politician, Stacy. Like that never came over me. Seeing you there presented so beautifully, trailblazing like only you could, and then politician when I went to go look you up.
I'm a recovering elected official. And I'm in constant recovery. Every day is a struggle to make sure that I continue to be in recovery and I don't slide back into being in elected office.
Listen, as someone that's 9.5 years sober, I'm going to tell Stacy it's one day at a time. Okay. So you're a former member of the Florida House of Representatives, and you got a lot done while you were in office. 20 years of service. I mean, when did you start? When you were 10? 4. Okay.
Obviously.
Okay, that
4.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, 4.5 actually, I think. I was really lucky. I got elected for the first time when I was 36. And I decided to run for the state house. I had never run for anything ever before.
Really?
Mm-mm. I was interested in politics. Most lawyers are interested in politics.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents were very liberal. Sort of grew up during the New Deal and were serious New Dealers. And I remember my earliest memories are the TV on at 6:30 with Walter Cronkite or Huntley Brinkley, which a lot of people don't remember. But my dad would yell and scream about the Vietnam War and Nixon, that son of a bitch. And that's how I grew up. And I remember this, with a cigarette in his mouth while we were at the dinner table, of course. And I grew up very, very interested. The first campaign I worked on was Jimmy Carter's campaign in 1970. And when I say work, we went to the swap shop and we registered voters.
Yeah, gave out flyers. It still was work.
I didn't have a driver's license. My mom would have to take me. She'd have to pick me up. That was another big deal because Saturdays, which is when I could do it on the weekends, was her hairdresser day and the grocery shopping day. But that's when I started and always politically active. So I decided to run, and I was a serious underdog. I was not supposed to win. I ran against a woman who was a school board member, had won twice countywide.
So I had history already.
Yeah, a name recognition. And I got lucky. Russ will tell you that I worked really hard. Both were true.
Okay.
I mean, there is luck involved.
Of course there is.
But there's
a lot of freaking hard work too. It's not just, hey, here's my name, vote for me. It doesn't work like that. It's a lot of kissing babies, knocking on doors, getting your face out there, your name out there. It's a lot. It's a lot. What do you think your biggest accomplishment was in that time that you were in office?
Well, the state in the House of Representatives.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Well,
for your whole career. I mean, that's 20 plus years.
When I ran for the Broward County Commission in 2006, I really felt it was really important that we expand the airport and build a second runway. We only had one runway.
What?
And
at one of the biggest airports with so many people that fly out of Fort Lauderdale.
And there was a serious opposition. There was 20 years worth of opposition to building a south runway. The people just to the south of there in Dania Beach were adamantly opposed, and they managed to clog up the works on this project for decades. That was a big deal, and we got it done. And then the year I was mayor from 2008, 2009, we built a new Broward County courthouse. And the voters just the year before had rejected a bond for it, but we knew we needed it. The old courthouse was
falling apart.
Old when I was born, and I'm old. So, and that was another major accomplishment that put people to work. You know, both the runway and the courthouse put people to work, especially in 2008 when we were having a major recession in this country. Those were big projects, and I like to, and while that's not the juicy stuff like choice or school prayer, those are the things that really, I think, matter to people who live in Broward County.
Well, and those are two huge ones, Stacy. Like, I was expecting her to say, well, I got a sign for the street. I added a stop sign to this place that I had a lot of accidents.
I don't,
like, these
I
are
don't
huge.
have accidents.
No, but that's huge. Like a courthouse. That's, you know, that's something that every single citizen has to go to do something, you know? And the airport. I mean, that's tourism. That's how people come to visit us, right? We're so blessed down here that if something happens in Miami, you can go to Fort Lauderdale and you can get out through that airport.
Well, actually, you should come in and out of Fort Lauderdale.
You should just do Fort
always.
Lauderdale.
First, last, and always.
First of all, Miami's a hot mess when it comes to the airport. All right, we'll just start there. I'm just saying. So this state can be tough. You know, this state can be tough for anyone. It is now. I bet you it was still. It was tough back then. You're an ally. You know, that is one of the main reasons why. That was the first reason I fell in love with you. Was just your allyship is above and beyond, to the point where I consider you an honorary gay person, right? Like you are. You know, like
made it.
You've made it. You know, you are what an ally should be, right? You know, if you want to look up the definition of an ally, there's this, you know, that means bringing us in to your world, all parts of it, right? Not just the ones that make you comfortable and make you feel seen. And that is what you do, you know? Was that instilled in you as a kid? Was that something that you've always been?
We never had conversations about gay people when I was a kid. You just didn't treat people differently. There was no conversation about, well, you know, first of all, underserved and underrepresented communities there was no phraseology for that back in the 70s or probably even the 80s.
Yeah.
And my parents just we never talked about it. We never treated people differently based on how they identified, which is also something we didn't say back then. But, it was just something that you just didn't do. You did treat people with respect depending on how they came to the table.
Yeah.
But everybody was supposed to be at the table, and everybody was served whatever was equitable for them. The conversations didn't happen. And so when people say, "How did you become an ally?" It wasn't. There's no evolution here.
Nothing happened. It wasn't like a big bang and you became an ally.
No.
It was just the right thing to do.
We never thought there was anything else. And so I'm always sort of super humbled by the awards from the gay community. I'm thrilled, obviously, but it's just the way everybody is supposed to behave. And the fact that it's somehow considered courageous or unusual is, I think, the most disturbing thing. But I understand why, but it's not, it's just, it should never be courageous to do the right thing.
And that's so beautiful, Miss Stacy. You know, it's just, it's brave. It's even brave. And I know that doesn't wash over you, Stacy, but I want you to understand that there's a privilege that comes with you being a white woman, right? And being an ally, right? And there's a lot of tables that you would be invited to before I would be, or before my trans sisters would be. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And you still can get massive amounts of shit from people that you work with for having our backs. Do you understand? And we see that, you know?
I'm very grateful for that. I am, and for the rest of my life, when I leave this position and go on to whatever's in the fourth of my life, I will always carry with me how the gay community in Broward County has seen me. Has seen me.
Has seen you completely. Again, but you made them see you. It wasn't also just like, hey, I'm dancing around. I'm just Stacy Ritter in pretty shoes. Have you seen her shoes? Can we see her shoes real quick? Look at these things. How amazing are those? I'm going to steal those.
Loves these shoes.
I bet. I love those. So now here we are, and you're president and CEO of Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau. How many years have you had that position now?
It will be 8 years in June.
Wow.
I know. I can't believe it.
Wow. Did you have a history? Did you have an issue with Sentinel when you first got on? You're laughing.
I would say an issue is an understatement.
Okay, that bad. Was it that big of a deal?
I was not what the hospitality community wanted.
Okay.
For this position. They wanted someone from tourism. They didn't want a politician. They say they didn't want a politician. And this was very much like a campaign, like my 8 other campaigns for elected office.
What? You had to kind of run? You had to run for this position?
I had to get supporters, and I had to get them to write letters and call my boss and then at the time I was her boss, which also made it really interesting because I was the courageous person in this whole thing was Bertha Henry, the county administrator at the time, who put her blinders on and said, I'm giving Stacy this position. I think she's the right person, no matter what all the clutter says. But the Sun Sentinel did write 2 editorials, again, anybody but Stacy Ritter.
Wow.
And look, to say it doesn't hurt would be a lie.
Of course.
But it made me even more want to prove them wrong. And
I love you. It gave you like that fire.
It did. Because just as my first election when I was the underdog and I ran hardest in that election, I ran hardest in this one, even though it was a appointed position, because there were so many people against me and I wanted to prove them wrong. And that's probably immodest, but I knew I could do this job.
And she knew you could do this job.
More importantly, she knew. She knew better, I think, more than I did. More than and the reason I applied for it in the first place was like 4 years before I got the job, my predecessor had been talking about retiring, and my husband was like, "You could do that job. It's a cocktail party. It's one big cocktail party. You do cocktail parties all the time." And then I got the job, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, what? It's not just a cocktail party? No, it is not. It's we're a government agency.
Yes, you are.
And all the red tape and bureaucracy that goes along with that, and yet we are still able to accomplish amazing things because we are on the side of right."
Yeah. This is the side that you want to be on, you know?
I think so. It's certainly more fun than the other side. I promise you that.
Hell to the yeah. Do you have a better relationship with them, with the Sun Sentinel, as the years have gone by?
Thankfully, their editorial staff has turned over, which helped. But they see that we have experienced record numbers in tourism, that we have changed the way people view this destination. We're not a sleepy little beach town anymore.
No, we're not.
And the fact that we have doubled down on diversity and inclusivity and accessibility, in spite of what's going on in the state of Florida, I think that they respect.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's the Sun Sentinel. You know, we have to, come on, they know better. And again, there's certain times that a publication will be scrutinized for the writing of one person or for a team, you know, and it's not the whole entire newspaper that was against you. It was the certain editorials or whatever. But
right, exactly. And it is a different staff. I mean, they have been very, very good to us with local press. They put the Rose Parade. They put it in the paper. They put a picture of the float on page 3 on January 2nd with a headline, "A Float to Remember," which was a big deal for us. They put us on the front page after our annual luncheons when we talk about tourism. So I have no issues with the Sun Sentinel.
Good.
But I haven't forgotten.
No, right? We'll forgive you, but we'll never forget, you know? We'll talk more about the Rose Bowl in a little bit and your annual meeting. Your annual meeting was like ultra, okay? Like I saw the videos and it was like boom, boom. I was like, what the hell? So Richard Gray sat in this bed.
Yes, he did.
And told me how much you inspire me. How you inspire him, excuse me. And you inspire me too, don't get me wrong. But how much you inspire him and how the Rose Parade float was all your idea.
Yes, it is true. But I couldn't have done it alone. And the team at Visit Lauderdale embraced the idea and ran with it.
Yeah.
So while someone has to come up with an idea, it was absolutely a team effort. Could not have done it by myself. Would not have wanted to do it by myself. It was extraordinarily labor intense. And we started this in September of 2023 when other floats start their process in February.
Wow.
So it was very condensed. It was very hurried. But we wanted to show people around the world in 2.5 minutes who and what we are.
And you did. And you did, Stacy. 2.5 minutes. That's it. Okay. So, you know, it was jaw dropping to wake up January 1st to this float that was from here over there, you know, it was just like, you know, and I was recording it. So I rewinded like a bunch of times, and Richard Gray sat here and lit up when we said that about the Rose Bowl Parade, you know, and And then he also lit up when he was talking about how you talked about it and how important you felt this was this year to do, you know? Stuart Milk was on the float. I believe a teacher was on the float.
Principal of the year.
Oh,
from my high school too. Piper.
Was it from your high school?
I mean, coincidentally, Marie Hodigan is the principal of the year from Piper High School, which I just think was really neat, especially since I was, where I went to high school. And we had Miss Seminole.
Oh my God!
Of the tribe.
Yes.
People don't.
She's beautiful.
And oh my God, this young woman. Talking to her, it's hard. She's very introverted. Then she gets on the float and she becomes this other person. She was so into it, and the tribe itself was just so into the whole project and so supportive of the project. And people look at South Florida. We haven't been settled for as long as other places have, and forget that there were people here before us, way before us.
Yeah,
and we should recognize that. You want to talk about being seen? There's a group of people who were completely ignored or actually persecuted for decades by this country, who now are finally, I hope, at least being seen by us. So, and Stanley Panther, of course, and Bill Lindsay, who's a famous Panther player, and they were all just so into it, and we very much wanted to make sure that there were rainbow colors on this flag.
Yes, the umbrella.
And on the lifeguard stand, there's a rainbow flag because people hear things about Florida that are true about some parts of Florida, but they aren't true about us.
Yeah, for sure. Folks that live here know the beauty, right? Our visitors know our beauty, and Visit Lauderdale is a big reason for that, right? Making Fort Lauderdale the tourism destination that it really is. We have so much to offer, but you also do it for us locals, I feel, also, like I love Avi Ram. Like, he's one of my favorite artists in the world, and he's got murals all over town, and he made Fort Lauderdale the backdrop to his paintings, basically. So he painted me into the Bonnet House.
That's right.
Right? That's incredible. And then he painted people into the convention center after it was newly opened. The renovation was done and everything. And he did a bunch more. Amazing. I mean, how did that come to pass?
He did Flamingo Gardens out west.
Yes.
He did Amarin Arena, where the Panthers play. So it's not just Fort Lauderdale, and that's why the name of the agency is Visit Lauderdale, because we are a county agency. But I can't remember when I met Avi, but Richard brought it to us.
Of course it was Richard.
Yeah, Richard brought it to us, and of course we were. Look, filtering through all of the marketing clutter that we all get every single day, bombarded, not just on television anymore. I mean, every social media platform bombards us with marketing. How do you separate yourself from the pack when there are so many in the pack? And we thought this was a really creative way to market the destination and to showcase what we've got here, the beauty of what we got. I mean, the sea turtle, as she unfolds and you see, oh my God, that's a human being. He's so brilliant at this.
He really is.
And helping a local artist, helping fund a local artist who can then spread that message around the world on our behalf. I mean, it was easy.
It was easy. But it was beautiful. Follow Avi Ram. He's incredible in what he does. In Plain Sight is the name of the segments, and they're just incredible. But again, like I said, like for some of the locals had never seen these places up front, and we live here, Fort Lauderdale and all this whole entire Broward County. It's not just beaches and we've got so much more, we don't have hundreds and hundreds of years of history like other cities do, but we do quite a lot here as well.
And our neighbor to the south consumes a lot of the oxygen. Our neighbor to the north has, I'm told, a very famous resident living in Palm Beach these days.
Lord.
Don't remember his name, but he's somewhere. I think it rhymes with dump.
Something like that. He's got hair like this.
Yeah. So how do you, again, separate yourself from others that can consume all of the oxygen in the room and recognize, everybody knows we have beaches, but I've lived here for 50 years this year. Wow. And, and I've seen a lot of changes in this. When I got here, it was very conservative, very white, very straight, and very male-centric, and it is not that. But people still can have this opinion about what they think we are. So how do you separate yourself? And you show the beauty of the destination, but not just the beach, because we all know that tourist who sits on the beach for in 8 hours the first day, gets lobster red. This is what we did when I was a kid. We used to put baby oil on ourselves and burn, and then we would peel, the water blisters off of our arms and legs. But what do you do the second day when you can't go in the sun, or when it's raining? What do you do? Part of what we have to do is, part of the mission is to tell them.
And you do it so effortlessly. You do. I mean, I know it takes a lot of work, but from the viewing standpoint, it's like, man, give me more, give me more. Something else that Richard was talking about and that really got me thinking, I love something that Visit Lauderdale does is the inclusivity. I love your inclusivity in your ads, in your print, in your commercials, and everything. Everybody, everyone under the sun is represented in these things. It's not just, talk. But then something that I hadn't even thought about until Richard sat in my bed was about extending a hand to those folks that may have their disabilities on the inside. I have chills right now just by that. Like, that's incredible to me.
But you started the conversation by talking about how you want everybody should be represented and seen. Mm-hmm. And there are so many people out there that are traveling, and everybody wants to travel, but not everybody can because the accommodations aren't always accommodating.
Yeah.
So how? And there are, you can tell when someone is in a wheelchair, that person has accessibility issues, but there are lots of people who have invisible disabilities, and the Americans with Disabilities Act recognizes both visible and invisible disabilities, and you've got to talk to those people and let them know that autism is a perfect example.
Yes. Sensory issues, overload.
Yes.
There are some places in the Fort Lauderdale airport that I had no idea that are just like a room that you can go into and kind of like chill out.
And we're building one at the convention center with the new expansion that's going on out there, and the Sunflower program, which we've joined, and which the airport has joined and the convention center has joined, lets people know from the outside that I have a disability and I need you to recognize that. And I may not tell you what it is. I don't have to, and you can't ask me, but recognizes that there are some issues that will need to be addressed.
That's amazing.
That's something,
Stacey.
though, that's a whole segment of the population that's been ignored forever.
Yes, and nobody's doing that, not to that caliber.
Well, there are, and there should be more, because you shouldn't be the only destination doing anything.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to travel, and everybody wants to travel someplace that can accommodate their needs.
Yeah.
And everybody should have that opportunity.
I love that. My stepson is autistic. So there are certain things that we need to plan for when we are able to go. But I tell you, 9 times out of 10, we decide not to go travel because of all those limitations, So I, on behalf of anybody that has any kind of issue on the inside or autism or anything, I say thank you for seeing those people.
Again, Richard I hate to say this, but Richard's a genius.
You heard it here first. Make sure that the closed captioning is correct at the bottom. Richard is a genius. Okay.
And now his head will be bigger and be harder to get him through a doorway. But I've known Richard for 20 years.
Wow.
And we knew each other in different, I was a county commissioner. I put him on the Tourist Development Council, which is the advisory board. He came to me through Justin Flippin, who worked for me in my commission
rest
meeting.
in peace. Yes.
Absolutely. And we became instant friends. And now we work together. And it's just added an extra layer to our relationship, richer layer.
I bet.
That
pun intended. A richer. You get it?
And I love working with him, and I like to think he loves working with me.
He adores you, kid.
Well,
adores you.
It is mutual. And again, this is Richard's head's. Richard is an icon in travel and tourism. Richard is an icon in the gay community. Richard is an icon in the straight community, and teaches us all a lot about how people should be treated.
Yes, I mean, what he's done to see the trans community is just so beautiful.
First destination to put trans people in our marketing, and not a single person said, "Why are you doing that?" or "How can you do that?" Now, I get letters from people, actual physical letters from people who don't like what we do. I get letters from people around the country who say they won't come here. They know we're different, but they're still not coming here, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But when you do that, you hurt the people you want to help.
Yeah.
You know, you stay away from the gay community as if you're gay and you don't want to come here because you don't want to give the state your tax dollars. You're hurting small businesses which are gay owned.
Definitely.
You know, multicultural too. You're hurting small businesses for people who share your values. Why would you want to do that? Again, I understand it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of people travel to places where their views do not align with the countries they're traveling to, but it doesn't stop them from seeing.
It doesn't stop them from going and seeing incredible places. Yeah, that is limiting yourself. Stacy, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Like, okay, so blue. All right. So I host church at Unity on the Bay, and we always have a color that we have to wear every Sunday, and it's aligned with the chakras and all this beautifulness, right? But then you really learn that when somebody says blue, there's 1,000 blues, right? All right.
Yes.
So is it sky blue? Is it dolphins blue? Is it royal blue?
My eyes.
Wow,
blue.
your eyes are gorgeous. I could stare at them forever.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
Lucky Russell.
No, not my daddy. My dad.
Oh, okay, your dad. Yeah, got it. Yeah, we all have daddy issues.
Yes, it's the one thing that he gave me that was positive. The thing not so positive is my personality. So
I love personality. So we were talking about your shoes before. Do you have sitting shoes and walking shoes and event shoes like me?
I used to only have stilettos, and I wore them at trade shows for 8 or 10 hours a day. And then, because it ruins the outfit if you change your shoe.
Yeah, completely.
But then the pandemic came, and I said, why am I doing this every single day? Why am I wearing these 4-inch stilettos? Yeah, they're great looking. Man, they give you an amazing calf.
Oof, what?
But I no longer feel that I have to impress people. You either like me or you don't. You know, when I was in my 20s, I agonized over people not liking me, but you don't like me now, it's really not my problem, it's yours. And so I said the same thing about my shoes. Look, I'm as smart in a pair of Christian Louboutin 4-inch stilettos as I am in a pair of Valentinos that are a chunk heel.
Yeah.
So, not anymore. The quick answer is not anymore.
Not anymore, but
I do
you still
them
have.
at events.
Yeah.
You know, I'll wear them at and of course, when you go to a gay event, you really have to amp up your game as a straight woman because there's so much judgment in that room that I am.
It's not judgment.
It's totally judgment. But I really spend a lot more time figuring out my wardrobe when I go to gay events.
More than when you do straight events? Because the straight events, you're always best dressed. Well, you're fine.
Also,
you're good.
You know, honestly, straight men, like, they don't... Gay men still pay attention to women my age, which is really nice. Because I am very selfish and very self-centered, but I'm also very self-aware. So a lot of self-centered people are not self-aware. I know.
Those two don't usually go together.
No, I know it. And so it's really nice that when a guy looks at you, no matter what, every now and then.
I have friends that are like, you only hang out with gay boys. Like, why? And I go, hello. They tell me I'm beautiful every single day. Right. They compliment what I'm wearing. Most of the time they want to wear what I'm wearing. Like, come on. Like, why wouldn't I?
Gay men love women.
They do. Gay men love boobs. They just do. I just think that it's just, everybody feels that way. It's just, love. I think it's just love.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that when you experience so much hatred and prejudice, for it not to turn you into a hateful, prejudicial person is really amazing. And I don't know anyone in this community that I have interacted with from the gay community who are hateful or prejudicial. They just live.
They just
live.
Hope
that they are able to just live.
Yeah. I think the marginalization makes us really try to stay in the moment whenever possible.
I think that's a great way to live.
I personally love your commentary on award shows. I totally miss E on the red carpet with Joan Rivers. We were talking about Joan Rivers before. I used to love her. The next day they would do all the commentary on like what everybody was wearing, and she would rip people to threads, So, I mean, I think you and I would do a sick red carpet for something.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun. And, I tell people that I have a filter right now because I'm employed full time by the county. But once I retire, a filter comes off. So if you think my commentary is is insightful now. Wait until I retire, and I mean, what are these people thinking? They make millions of dollars a year. They hire stylists. They get free couture outfits, and this is what you're putting on the red carpet?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Listen, I believe Billie Eilish. I think that she's such a talented soul, and I love her queer representation, right? But damn, do something about your clothing. Like
she wears expensive shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she was wearing Chanel that night.
Yeah.
And each individual piece was lovely. But the way she put it together, and look, I admire her for wearing oversized clothing and not buying into the and not allowing herself to be over sexualized as a woman. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you can't wear something that fits. Especially if you're wearing a $5,000 jacket. I mean, it should fit.
Yeah, no, it should. It should. Do you do the commentate? Because, okay, so what she does is that, like, we'll be watching the Oscars and she'll be posting it on her Facebook, like the picture and then what she thinks, and it's freaking hysterical. Did you start doing that because you were doing that to your husband and he was like, stop?
I've been doing it
forever?
20 years.
Oh my God, okay.
And I use Facebook because I'm a boomer and apparently older people use Facebook. Also, it's much harder for me to, I don't do X anymore. I deleted my X account because Elon Musk to me is just, ugh.
Me too. Me too. Immediately. I can't with the racism. I can't with that. Like,
the anti-Semitism,
I can't. I have gay friends who have Teslas and I won't get into their cars. And I'm just like, what an oxymoron. What is wrong? Why would you do that?
Every time Russ sees a Tesla, he's like, I hope it explodes. I hope it explodes. And it's usually a liberal, you know, who has bought the Tesla, which is, I said, that's why we don't want them to explode. But, I've always loved clothes, always. And I grew up very, very middle class and was not really able to, I mean, we went to what the equivalent of Target was. I actually love Target now, but not even Target.
Listen, Target's expensive now. Target, you used to be able to get a dress for $15 and now you can't.
It was someplace called the Treasury back in the 70s. And my mom would have to buy me the most inexpensive clothes that we could find. And I don't say that to say poor Stacy, but now that I don't have to do that, I mean, it's like all bets are off. My mother, may she rest in peace, her head would explode if she knew how much I spent on a pair of shoes.
Oh my God.
But you know what? I love that. And so it pains me when I see people who can afford anything and not even afford it. They get this stuff for free.
Yeah.
The jewels are free.
Everything is free.
And this is how you put it
together. And this is how you're presenting yourself.
Me.
Like, you know, we're jealous of you. Okay. Let us see the good stuff, you know? Another reason why I adore you is that you love your pets just as much as I do. You know, and like when I was stalking you, I mean, trying to get to know you, and I was looking at your IG, I expected your IG to have like all these events and your awards, and it was all your dogs.
And I have children and grandchildren.
And it's all her. Go look at her IG. It's all her dogs. Tell me about them.
I only do rescues and have been doing rescues forever. Our first dog in the 60s was from the pound, what we called the pound back then. I think he cost us $7. Tutu is one of the best dogs in the world.
Aww.
So I grew up with rescues, and now we only do Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Oh my God.
We're on 4, 5, and 6 right now. But they, and again, they're either owner surrenders or puppy mills, and every one of them comes with an issue.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I can't stand. I do not buy a puppy.
Adopt, don't shop.
Absolutely. But, you know, when your puppies are going for $3,500, these dogs are commodities to these people.
Yeah.
They treat them horribly. They don't feed them well. They don't get dental. They don't get medical.
The mom is treated like crap. They they snatch them from the mom way too soon. So they haven't built up the tolerance or the ability to just like shake off certain things. So a lot of these dogs have health issues
And they
that come along with them.
These $4,000 puppies come sick to you because the mom was in a puppy mill.
Yeah.
But Cavaliers I've lost 2 from congestive heart failure at the age of 6, which is a devastating
And
disease.
so young.
So young, but because they were treated so horribly the first 3 years of their lives. Zoe passed away a year and a half ago from a stroke, of course, in the middle of the night. And so now we've got Fraser and Augie and Poppy, and Fraser and Augie are owner surrenders. And Augie only has, I think, 15 teeth left because he's had multiple extractions, and he also has seizures. So he's on a bunch of medication that makes him really stoned. He's stoned all the time. It's the most wonderful dog, but he's stoned the whole time. And Poppy is our latest rescue. We rescued her last June from a puppy mill situation where 6 other dogs were rescued, and she was so filthy that her foster mom had to bathe her 7 times to get her clean. She came with fleas and ear mites, and she's had 7 teeth extracted, and she's only 4 because she's had multiple litters. But these dogs, I mean, look at my phone. I got 3 pictures of my kids. And I got 1,000 pictures of my dogs. Because, look, you're a dog owner. When you go home...
Look at Pad. You see my dog?
Yeah. When you go home, they just want to be with you.
They just want to be with you. That is unconditional love to the fullest. You want to learn about how to love? You don't get that from people.
No.
You just don't. Like when I got... because we judge, right? Because we're always worried, what about me? What about me? Like, we can't do that. Dogs, no matter what, you treat them awfully, they'll still come back. It's just so sad.
Yes, it is. And people don't deserve dogs.
No.
They don't. And all dogs really do go to heaven.
Rainbow Bridge, 100%, I believe that.
I do too, but it also hurts my heart to think that all of my previous dogs are waiting there for me. And I hope that I hope they're not pining. I hope that they're free of pain.
They are.
And they're just having an amazing time until I get there, when I can be, I mean, how silly this sounds coming out of my mouth. But if you're a dog lover, a dog owner, you know. So yes, my dogs are amazing, and Poppy sleeps between us. Fraser sleeps at the foot of the bed. Augie sleeps behind my head.
Ooh, so you don't sleep well any night.
We don't.
Yeah. And and God forbid you move, right? Because you know those middle of the nights, right, when you have to pee and you're like, shit, if I move the dog, I have to start this all over.
Yes, but so I don't move.
No, so I don't move. I'm not going to pee. I'm going to wear a diaper because I'd rather be uncomfortable than have my dog be uncomfortable, you know?
So, yeah.
Oh my God, I love
and for people out there, there is a rescue organization for every breed. My dogs are purebred rescues.
To the people that are always saying, I want a pure breed or I want a certain kind of dog. What she's saying, it's true. Google is amazing. You could find the rescue for any kind of dog.
I've heard this thing called Google is out there. And you can find stuff. So my sister just adopted a golden doodle, rescued a golden doodle, because again, there are dogs out. People give them up.
Yep.
Their circumstances change. There are so many dogs in shelters in the Humane Society who just want to be loved.
Yeah.
That to go out and spend $3,500 for a puppy when you can pick up an amazing. Anyway.
No, but listen. No, but that soapbox is important, and it's my soapbox. I'm glad that we could be on it together. It's so important. And look, to folks out there, most of these rescues need fosters bad. And guess what? If you're a foster, you don't have to pay for the food. You don't have to pay for the vet bills. You don't have to pay for the flea and tick. All you do is give love, 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 and get it back 1,000,000 times over. 1,000,000 times over.
I'm still in touch with Augie and Poppy's foster moms. And these are amazing women, families, who take these broken dogs.
The patience. Oh my God.
Yes. Especially Poppy, who came, as I said, from this horrible puppy mill. She's still extraordinarily skittish.
Wow.
But so petrified in the leash and the leash and the harness. And her foster mom, Kathy, who had her for 3 months, she wasn't. These dogs live in their crap. They literally live in their crap. So they're almost like puppies.
Yeah.
In that they aren't housebroken. She just did an amazing job with Poppy and turned over to us this dog that just wants to be loved.
And he's so appreciative, I bet.
She's amazing. They're all amazing.
I love it.
I get to go home now and hang out with them. Now
You're amazing. You're amazing, Stacy. You're amazing. So I had said at the beginning of this interview that I felt that Stacy Ritter was an honorary gay, right? But I also think that you must have been gay in a past life. I think that's what, now the more that I sit with you and get this raw energy and the things that I've been imagining, I can't tell you guys about, right? So, I know you're an ally and I know you're married, all right? And I am too. But if you ever considered coming on this side of the fence, would you date me?
Well, first of all,
it's April Fool's Day, so you can say yes and then say no. I'm just because I have abandonment issues.
I'm worried about how tall you are. That's really my big concern, is how tall you are. Also, I think I'm in our next lives, we might be more comparable in age. So, I'll definitely keep the door open.
I love cougars.
I'm not a cougar anymore. But if I was gay in a past life, I for sure as hell is going to be. I'm going to be in my future life.
Okay.
If I don't get into the club in the next life, I'm gonna be really upset with all of you, So I'm just putting it out there.
Okay,
You better write me a good letter recommendation for when I come back.
Yeah. Next life, Stacy's got to be on. I'm telling you, your past life, you were here. I'm telling you.
Do you guys date? You know, because there's a whole conversation in the straight community that you just go, you know.
Yeah, and that's a stereotype.
You go right to
and that's a stereotype, okay? Like, it's like, you know, that they say that lesbians take a U-Haul to the first date, right? Because, ooh, I like you, let's move in, right?
Well,
and gay boys don't even get your phone number.
Right,
you know
but the U-Haul's attached to a Subaru, right?
Of course. And a dog, with 2 dogs.
The answer's yes.
Okay, thank you. Yay. Woohoo. Hold on, give me a second to just...
But are we calling it dating?
Yes, I'm a good girl now. I would have, a couple of years ago, I would just go straight for it like a gay boy.
How long
but like,
have you been married?
I've been married 7 years, 6 years. Okay. How long have you been married?
Which time?
The one that counts, the one with Russell.
This will be 20.
I mean, the other one counted too because of your children, but I mean, you know what I mean.
24 years this year.
That's amazing. So, to end our interview, Miss Stacy, we play a game here at the FayWhat show called Say What with FayWhat, right? And basically, it's a lightning speed game where I say something and you just answer which one of the two, right? So if I say black or white, you would say?
Oh, I think that's a loaded question. So let's
okay. Blonde or brunette, you would say?
Brunettes.
All right. Okay. So that's how it goes. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go.
Because I'm actually a brunette.
Oh, okay.
But, and still am in some places. So.
I love her. All right. Here we go. Espadrille or slingback?
Slingback.
4-inch heels or 6-inch heels?
4-inch.
Cowboy boots or thigh-high boots?
Thigh highs.
Sneakers or Converse?
Sneakers.
Tacos or wings?
Tacos.
Shopping in store or online?
Online.
Football or basketball?
Football.
Pickleball or tennis?
Pickleball.
Tennis. She's like, either one. I don't want either one of them.
Yeah, it is.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
Lady Gaga or Beyonce?
Lady Gaga.
Pasta or rice?
Pasta.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Toilet paper end over or toilet paper end under?
Over.
Right? People are weird who have their toilet paper under. It's you. Look at your bathroom.
I'm talking to you, Russ.
Listen,
I'm talking
Russ,
to you.
And when I go to people's homes and if it's under, I change it.
So do I.
Do you really?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love her even more. Coffee black or light and sweet?
Light and sweet.
Full breakfast or hardly any breakfast?
Hardly any.
Hamilton on Broadway or Moulin Rouge?
Moulin Rouge.
Drag brunch or drag bowling?
Bowling.
Yes, there it is. All right, though. Stacy Ritter, Visit Lauderdale. Make sure that you follow Visit Lauderdale on all social media outlets,
Please.
right? Stacy Ritter is also on social just so you can see her cute pups, all right? On IG.
But you'll never see my children.
They're probably cute too.
They are.
They are, you know. But again, please visit Lauderdale on all social media outlets. Make sure that you follow them. There's always incredible stuff happening right here in our backyard. And we're just so blessed for everything that Stacy Ritter and Visit Lauderdale does. So Stacy Ritter, President and CEO of the Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau on the FayWhat Show. I adore you.
Oh, it's mutual.
Oh, thank you, Mama. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, you're sweaty. I love it. Can I just hold you for a little bit? Okay, we'll be right back. You guys can go. We'll be right back. So that's the FayWhat Show. I hope that you had fun. Thank you so much to Jamal Starks for joining me in bed and Stacy Ritter for the great interview. I just love her and Visit Lauderdale. They're incredible. Folks, I'm really passionate about trying to connect the L and the G in our LGBTQ plus community. It's often hard for us girls. But if we believe we are one strong community, then we must support all the letters of our LGBT and Q plus. We opened the show with a nod to Mary Tyler Moore and That Girl's Marlo Thomas. This show is dedicated to a strong LGBTQ plus community. I just encourage you to be a little bit kinder, a little bit funnier, and embrace our tremendous diversity. It's what makes us so damn strong. Until then, make sure you follow me on all social media outlets, Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Follow FayWhat. And since you're always on the go, you can listen to the FayWhat Show wherever you listen to your podcasts. Just search the FayWhat Show. Until next Monday, world, at 9 a.m. live or anytime on demand. I'm FayWhat, and I am #ThatGirl. I wish you a week full of sunshine and rainbows. Stay gay.
Rainbows, gay boys, #ThatGirl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled tea-dance, Wilton is that girl. Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ+ media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the FayWhat show. Get the week started with me.